Hello, welcome. My name is Tracy. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in Central Victoria, Australia. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today's CASEing Thursday and I have an amazing card for you. It's coming straight out of the Stampin' Up Holiday Catalogue. This went live 4th of September. Cannot rave about it enough. There's so many beautiful things inside and I love Christmas and I love Christmas crafting. So this is wonderful, a wonderful catalogue. If you haven't seen it yet, check it out. So for today's card, it comes using my favourite stamp set in the catalogue, which is called Playful Penguins. It is a stamp set that comes on its own. There is no punch, no framelits that go with it, so it's a really great price point. The stamp set comes on page 23. Here it is, just down here, Playful Penguins. Absolutely love this stamp set. And the reason I like this so much too is it's not just for Christmas. There is a lot of different sentiments there for a friendship card, for just an everyday card, New Year's, Christmas as well. So this is going to be a very versatile set. And because there is no framelits or punches involved, it's a really great price point as well. So I'm going to turn it over to page 22. This is where my card is. This one just here. Isn't that amazing? Absolutely beautiful. So let's bring the card in. Mine's actually a little bit different, but I think because we're using alcohol and spritzers, each card's going to come up a lot different than the next one. So this is this one here. I have made a few different changes. I don't have the sequins that are in the catalogue yet, but I have some retired sequins in my stash, which I thought came up really well. And that's what we're using today. So, okay, so let's get over to the craft table and we'll get started. The supplies needed for this card are the Playful Penguins stamp set. This is a 12-piece cling stamp set and I love all the 3 images of the penguins, but the great sentiments as well. This is a really awesome set to have. We're also using the 2-inch circle punch. The inks we're using are StazOn and Cherry Cobbler ink. I have the fine tip glue pen. We're also using some ink refills and I have Pool Party, Night of Navy and Rich Razzleberry here. I've already done my spritzers, so I'm going to show you them as well. But those are the inks that I've used. Here are my spritzers. Now I've put about 5 drops of each colour into my spritzer. So I have Pool Party, Night of Navy and Rich Razzleberry. And then I've just filled it up with some rubbing alcohol on the top. Here in Australia we can get the Isocol antiseptic. Now this is available in both Woolworths, Coles and Chemist Warehouse if you're looking for it. And this just gives us a little bit of an alcohol solution that we can spritz onto the card. I'm also using just some retired sequins. Now in the catalogue they're using the snowflake sequins. These are on page 43 and they're used with the Still Scenes snow globe set. So that's this one here if you would like to use those ones. My kit is here and all ready to go. Now all the measurements and supplies can be found over my blog. There is a link to my blog post in the description of this video. There's also a link to my online store. If you would live in Australia and would like to purchase any Stampin' Up supplies, you can do so through my online store. Now if you are popping an order in, use the host code. Not only will you earn yourself some Inky rewards, you'll get a free gift from me, but you will also earn yourself a tutorial bundle. Now last month it was a 42 tutorial bundle. These are PDF printables that'll be sent to you via email, and for this month they are all tutorials using the Stampin' Up Holiday Catalogue, so a great incentive for you to purchase anything from the new Holiday Catalogue. So we have a piece of Night of Navy card base, and that is our base. It's already folded in half and I'm going to just score on that line. Now for the dimensions, they are on my blog, but it's half a piece of A4 that's been cut in half and this been scored in half. We have 2 pieces of Whisper White cardstock, one for the front and one for the inside. We have a piece of Whisper White for our penguin there. I have a piece of vellum for our sentiment, And I've also got some sparkle glimmer paper. Now this is just a full sheet. I'm going to punch out a 2-inch punch in the sparkle paper. So we're going to start off with this gorgeous background here using that alcohol ink misting. So we're just going to use one of these pieces of Whisper White here. I'm going to bring in a matte as well. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring in that first one, which is the pool party, and I'm just going to make sure that they're all shaken properly. I'm going to move everything out of the road so I don't get this anywhere. I'm already getting it in places that I don't want it. Bring it up close so you can see, and I'm just going to spritz. Oh, that was a big glop. Hang on a sec. I'm just going to pick that up. Don't want quite such a big amount there. Let's try that again. So that looks good. I'm happy with that. Now, the alcohol dries really, really quickly. You can pop the heat tool over it just in between each colour if you want. Let's do that. I think I want just a little bit more over in this edge here. There we go. I'm really happy with that one now. Now the rich raspberry we want focused down here in this corner. So I'm just going to off screen make sure that's well shaken. Let's bring that colour in. Oh. I know that took off a lot of that blue. We can come back in and get a little bit more blue down, so I'm not too worried about that. That has sprayed everywhere though. Now moving on to the Night of Navy. I think I have a really good amount of colour of the Night of Navy and the rich raspberry, but let's bring in that pool party again because it is a really light colour. I want to make sure that I have a bit of that on there as well, shine through. So I'm really happy with how that colouring has turned out. Here's my other one. On this one, I don't think I had enough of the rich raspberry coming through all the pool party. So I'm going to stop right here and leave it like that. But if you think that that's still too light, you can definitely go back in and just add a bit more colour as you go. It's better to add just a little bit at a time because you can't take that colour away. But the other thing I just want to show you is look at that back. Isn't that gorgeous and vibrant? Really pretty in the back as well. So we're going to move on to our stamping of penguin, this one here. So I have my piece of Whisper White there. I'm also going to bring in the Stays On ink and that penguin. We're going to fussy cut him out, which is pretty easy to do. It's not too hard. I'm also going to bring in that other piece of Whisper White for our inside of our card. So just there, we're going to stamp that little penguin on the right hand side, bottom right. So let's move him out of the road so he doesn't get all wrecked. Now, I'm going to leave that stays on out really quickly because we're going to do the sentiment, but I just want to bring in that cherry cobbler ink and do that little bow tie. So sweet. Okay, so I have the sentiments going down on a piece of vellum. So I'm going to bring that sentiment in. Now the sentiment says, "Nothing warms the heart quite like a good friend." Isn't that a lovely sentiment to have? Let's do that in the middle. Excellent. Okay, we can pop our lid on. The stays on now. Now this dries out really quickly, so you really make sure you pop that lid on when you're finished. Just quickly show you my hands as well. I have ink everywhere. Sprayed it straight on my hand. So let's bring the scissors in and we're just going to fussy cut both the bow and the penguin. Those two are cut out, but I'm going to bend cut our sentiment end. So I'm just going to go in from the center, cutting from either side. We're doing both sides there. I'm also going to bring in that punch and punch that sparkle glimmer paper. Now this is gorgeous, isn't it? Now I don't need a full piece because it's coming off the side, so you can either choose to cut a little bit less or cut a full one and then just cut it off the edge. So we have all our elements done. Let's pop this card together. So a little disclaimer, if you punched your glimmer paper into a full circle, before you start gluing this straight down onto your piece, what you need to do is you need to adhere your glimmer to your matting piece and then using your scissors just chop that edge off. Because I've already got the straight edge, I can pop this straight down onto my card, and I'm going to do that because this has a little bit of bubble in it from the alcohol. I'm going to use my tear and tape. You need a good strong adhesive when you place either water or alcohol down onto your cardstock, because it does bubble quite a bit. Okay. I can layer that down onto my card. I go through quite a bit of tear and tape. I really like the strong adhesive, knowing that when I give my cards to someone it's not going to fall apart. Okay, so it's going straight down with a nice little border all the way around. I'm going to grab my Tombow glue and I'm going to pop some glue on the back of my glimmer. Let's just pop him straight down. So I'm going to bring some mini dimensionals in to pop down this little bow tie. And they're even too big, so I'm just going to cut one in half. It's tiny. There we go. This just makes that little penguin even more cuter. Look at him. Isn't that gorgeous? So I'm going to bring some dimensionals in and pop down on the back of that penguin. I've just got some ends here. Let's chop them down. Pop him down over the top. And then we have our sentiment. Now to stick vellum down, I use my silicone mat. And I've just got a sponge here. I'm going to pop down a little bit of the Tombow glue. Picking that up. I'm going to pop a little bit of glue on the back of both sides. So just on one side here, one side here. And that'll be enough to stick that down. And it won't stick through, you won't see it, so that's always good as well. And this just rinses off, or you can just rub along it and all that glue comes off, no problem. So our inside, I'm just going to use some Tombow glue and place that straight inside. And now we're just going to bring all those sequins in. Because I'm using different sequins, I'm going to pick and choose which ones I would like. See if that's enough. So I'm going to bring my fine tip glue pen in. That's how we're going to secure them down. I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue down onto my card, just randomly. Let's start popping some of them down. That looks good. Beautiful. What would one look like up here? No, I'm going to leave that off. And that's our card. I really like this one, I think, the lighter version. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed today's card. If you have, please give me a thumbs up and I'd love it if you left me a comment. Don't forget to hit subscribe if you aren't subscribed already. All the measurements and supplies can be found over my blog, and there is a link to that blog post in the description of this video. And if you purchase through my online store using the host code for this month, you will receive a bundle tutorial via email. And this is using all products from the Holiday Catalogue, so an amazing offer just for purchasing through my online store. Don't forget the hostess code. Okay, until next time, have a wonderful day and I'll see you all very soon. Bye bye.